and proved once again that you should never write off anybody in Indian politics. But Mr. Pawar, if I can just, because this is the first time that we're getting to talk to you since all of this unfolded, if we can just go back a little to the beginning. After the Maharashtra results came out, the BJP Sena had the majority, but then they started fighting with each other. At which point did you enter the picture? Did the Sena reach out to you, or did you reach out to the Sena?
You see, to be frank, after the Vidhan Sabha election result, I made our position absolutely clear publicly that the number which we got, we means NCP and Congress, is not sufficient to form government.
Right.
And that's why we have taken conscious decision to sit in the opposition. And we provide an effective opposition and try to work in the state legislature, in the state.
Okay. You decided to sit in the opposition at that point. Okay. Then what changed?
In fact, we never thought also that we will be able to form government or this or that. But of course, we are keeping close eye what is happening in the state. But after initial 1 week or 10 days, our observation that there were some serious differences between BJP and Shiv Sena.
Right.
And there was some understanding between both of them. And what we read in the media, that understanding was not honored, and that's why Shiv Sena was getting perturbed, very unhappy day by day.
Right.
But one day we saw the public statement or public accusation from Shiv Sena side to BJP state leadership.
Right.
And then we thought initially this might be because of some of the promises are not fulfilled, and that's why it is happening. So we are watching.
Okay.
But ultimately we come to that conclusion, it's not just complaint, but ultimately they have practically made up their decision from both sides
To break.
And
then that's my question to you. At that point, did you reach out to the Shiv Sena or did they approach you?
First, you see, one of the members of parliament from Shiv Sena, Mr. Raut, we have, of course, both of us working in the Rajya Sabha. So on a number of occasions we meet, we discuss. Their approach was something different, our approach was something different, but personal equation was very much there.
Okay.
One of the discussion, I realized that the Sena seems to be very unhappy because the commitment made to the Shiv Sena is not fulfilled.
Right.
That is a complaint of the Shiv Sena, what we heard from Mr. Sanjay Raut.
Okay, that's 50-50 rotating chief ministership. So it was basically those conversations that you were having with Sanjay Raut, who you already knew from a long time and you had a relationship with. That's what led to the beginning of your discussions with the Sena.
That's
and
right.
being able to support them.
Yeah, because then that conversation looks like that he must have communicated to his leader. And they came back. If this is continued like this, BJP is not going to honor their commitment. Their mood was to go to extreme level, extreme position.
But I just wanted to check one thing with you, that this entire discussion you had with the Shiv Sena, this was only after the election. Was there any conversations you had with Uddhav Thackeray before the election, that in the event this would happen, you may break with them? No.
We never thought also.
You never thought?
Yeah, we never thought also.
Because there was one suspicion that you and the Sena were in talks even before the election. No.
Not before.
It all happened afterwards.
We were fighting, in fact. We fought against Sena and BJP in last election.
Yes.
And that's why there was no question of any association dialogue with Shiv Sena or BJP prior to Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha election.
So then tell me, Pawar Sahab, what happened next? Because here you were then in negotiations with the Shiv Sena. It appeared that all three of you were coming together, and then suddenly you had that midnight coup where Ajit Pawar then gets sworn in with Devendra Fadnavis. Now, is that something which you had any inkling of?
No, we are not at all, we never expect that Mr. Ajit Pawar will act like this. But there is some background.
Okay.
And there the Shiv Sena doesn't come in picture or BJP doesn't come in picture. Initially, Congress and NCP leaders were sitting together for some common program. What should be our approach? Suppose we have to go with Shiv Sena. What should be our attitude to vis-a-vis Shiv Sena? Then what program we should adopt?
Right.
And there was a continuous discussion between us.
Right.
We met in Mumbai, we sat in Chavan Center, we sat in Nehru Center. In one of the meetings in Nehru Center, myself and the Congress national leadership who was present there, their general secretaries, had some heated discussion between me and them.
Oh, I see.
On certain issues.
Okay.
And there, practically, we have reached to that stage, at least we means me, it's better not to associate with this discussion, let my other colleagues should do that discussion in my absence.
Oh, I see. It had reached almost that stage.
So I said, all right, my other colleagues and Congress leaders will sit together, they will take decision, whatever they will take decision, we should support and follow, but I should not directly involve in the process of discussion and negotiation.
Okay.
So there was some unfortunate incident between both of us. And I was about to leave, and I ultimately left. But my senior other colleague, Mr. Praful Patel and others, they requested me, we'll manage the negotiation, you keep away, we'll brief you afterward.
Right.
And both of them sat together, Congress and NCP state leadership, other than me.
Sat and then continued to talk.
So there, that heated discussion between us, Mr. Ajit Pawar was very, very unhappy. He left the meeting. And he just told some of my colleagues, I don't understand how we are going to work. He said that he's thinking, he told some of my colleagues, it looks like very difficult to work in this combination.
I see. And is it possible to ask you what was the issue on which you had this heated exchange?
No, that I cannot say. But I can tell you about the. We were insisting the strength-wise, NCP was a better strength, better position as against Congress. But there, certain expectation from other side was not reasonable. That was our impression.
Okay. So it was basically a tussle over power sharing as to who would get what. But that led Ajit Pawar to walk out. Or he got upset and he felt this was not going to work.
Because some of the Congress leaders had a heated discussion with me.
Right.
That's why he thought, if they are going to treat Mr. Pawar like this, I don't know how we will be able to work tomorrow.
So are you saying that is what led him to go with the BJP?
He left the meeting, and in fact that night, he had a meeting with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, and then whatever the drama which we have seen, that happened.